Good morning, my beautiful students. How are you today, girls? How are you? Okay, girls, today we will take unit 1, lesson 3 together in our book We Can. Okay, first of all, what's the day and the date? The day is what? The day is Tuesday, Tuesday, and the date is 22/6/1443 after Hijrah, okay? Now, girls, I will tell you what are the classroom rules. Listen to me carefully. Rule number 1, follow directions quickly. Rule number 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule number 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Rule number 4, make smart choices. Rule number 5, keep your dear teacher happy, okay? Now, ask and answer game. If I ask you, my beautiful students, what do you want to be in the future? I want to be a nurse, for example, okay? Then, what did you do over the vacation? I went to visit my family. I went to my grandparents. I traveled to Jeddah. I met my best friend and I bought my favorite perfume, okay? Then, what does your dad do? My dad is a policeman. What does your mom do? My mom is a housewife, okay? Now, girls, as I told you, today we will take unit 1, lesson 3, girls. Fun on the weekend, page 6 and 7, okay? Now, I need you to open your notebook and copy this sentence in your handwriting section, okay? So we have sunflower, but we don't have any oil. Again, we have sunflower, but we don't have any oil, okay? Now, my beautiful students, I will start explaining when can I use some and when can I use any. We use some. What do I mean by some in Arabic? بعض, okay? We use some with countable and uncountable nouns. I mean الأسماء المعدودة والأسماء الغير معدودة. Okay? So we use some with countable and uncountable nouns, and also we use some with affirmative sentences. What do I mean by affirmative sentences? I mean a sentence without not. A sentence without not. الجملة المثبتة بدون النفي. Okay? For example, girls, I have some apples. Here, apples, can I count the apples? Yes, I can count the apples. So, is this an affirmative sentence or a negative sentence? It is an affirmative sentence. For this reason, I have to say I have some apples, then I have some flour, okay? Now, girls, we use any. بمعنى in Arabic أي, okay? We use any with uncountable nouns. I mean by uncountable nouns الأسماء الغير معدودة. Things that I can't count. Like what? Like sugar, السكر, juice, also salt, الملح. I can't count them, okay? So also with negative sentences. What do I mean by negative sentences? الجملة المنفية with not, okay? For example, I don't have any oil. Here I have not. I don't have any oil. I don't have any oil. Okay. Now use some and any. Number 1, girls, and number 1. Wait a minute. So number 1, there are eggs in the fridge. There are some. There are some here. Okay. Why should I use some? Because this is an affirmative sentence and I also can count the eggs. Okay. So I have some eggs in the fridge. What about number 2? Number 2, we don't have eggs. We don't. We have not. For this reason, I have to say any. We don't have any eggs. Sammy has books in his bag. Sammy has some books in his bag. So some books in his bag. And the last one, there are not pencils in my pencil case. There are not any pencils in my pencil case, okay? Now make sentences using some and any or any. For example, I have some apples, but I don't have any oranges. Number 2, there are some books under my table, but there are not any notebook under my table, okay? Now, girls, make sentences using but. What do I mean by but in Arabic? I mean by but لكن, okay? For example, I have some apples, but لكن I don't have any oranges. I have some pens, but I don't have any pencils, okay? Now, girls, how many? When can I use how many and when can I use how much? How many? We can use how many with countable nouns, الأسماء المعدودة, okay? For example, how many eggs do you need? How many apples did you eat yesterday? How many books do you have? Okay? What about how many books are there on the table, for example? Okay? What about how much? We can use how much with uncountable nouns, أسماء غير معدودة, okay? We use it to ask about the price, okay? For example, girls, how much flour do you need? Flour, I mean by flour in Arabic, الدقيق, okay? Then how much is the skirt? كم سعر التنورة? How much is the skirt? It is 2 riyals. For example, it is 100 riyals. It is 50 riyals, okay? So the first word in my lesson today is what? Flour, F-L-O-U-R. Flour, F-L-O-U-R. Number 2, what can we see here? I can see olive oil. So what is this? This is an oil. I can count the oil? No, I can't count the oil. For this reason, the word oil is uncountable. Okay, what about this? What can you see here? Cheese. Cheese, can you count the cheese? No, I can't. So the word cheese is uncountable. اسم غير معدود. ما أقدر أعده, okay? CHEESE, okay? Now, open your book, please, girls, and write the day with the date. After that, listen. Listen, please, girls.
Reading and writing. Exercise 1. Listen and read. Circle the answers in the chart.
Are you hungry? Yes, I am. Is there anything to eat? Why don't we make a pizza? That's a great idea. What do we need? Let me see. We need flour, oil, cheese, tomatoes, peppers, and mushrooms. How much flour do we need? We need 2 cups of flour. And oil? How much oil do we need? Half a cup.
So here you have to circle half a cup. Half a cup, okay? Complete.
Oil. And cheese? How much cheese? 3 cups of cheese.
So 3 cups of cheese. 3 cups of cheese. 3 cups. Circle 3 cups.
Well, that's a lot of cheese. What about tomatoes? How many tomatoes do we need? 4 tomatoes. Okay, 4 tomatoes. How many peppers? 2 peppers. How many mushrooms do we need? 10 mushrooms.
So 2 peppers and 10 mushrooms. After that, you have to answer these questions by yourself. If you have flour, circle yes. If you don't have, circle no, okay? Now, listen and circle yes or no in the chart. Practice in pairs. Write 2 sentences with some, any, and but. We have some, for example, oranges, but we don't have any apples. We have some pens, but I don't have any pencils. Okay, you have to do this exercise by yourself. Then, girls, listen.
Lunchtime. Exercise 4. Ordering in a restaurant. Can you be a waiter or waitress and take an order from a partner? First, let's practice the food names. Appetizers. Leek soup. Blue cheese. Main course. Spaghetti with meat sauce. Seafood spaghetti. Side dishes. French fries. Green salad. Desserts. Ice cream. Fruit salad. Drinks. Honey tea. Green tea. Today's special, turkey mayonnaise. Now make pairs. One partner is the waiter or waitress, and the other is the customer.
What would you like? I'd like leek soup, seafood spaghetti, green salad, and ice cream, please. What drink would you like? I'd like green tea, please. Sure, just a moment.
Okay, my beautiful students, your homework is page 75 and 76 in your activity book. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today, guys. Thank you for listening and watching, and goodbye. Goodbye, guys.